We are just about to get underway with the final two for the U19 events. We're waiting for the start of the men's single, and it looks like they are underway. In lane 1 is Aaron Fernandez. Lane 2, Clark Dean. Lane 3, Dylan Dalpedre. There's a little more wind than there was this morning, so you see a little more splash coming from the blades. And this, again, is the best 2 out of 3. In the middle of the course, we have Clark Dean. And this morning, he won by a considerable margin. And he appears to be out in front and doing a nice job and dealing with the conditions very well. It's a little windier than it was this morning. It's still very rowable. And as you can see, he's handling the conditions nicely and appears to already have at least a boat of open water, as they are, I believe they're right around the 500 meter mark. Closest to the camera is Aaron Fernandez, and on the far side is Dylan Dalpedre. And they are having a great battle for second place. I'm sure that's not where they want to be, but Clark Dean is controlling this race from 3 boats of open water out in front and looking very good doing it. Clark is from Sarasota. You can see the big S on his jersey. Started rowing 2011, so he's been at this for a while, and it shows. He's doing very well. Attends Pineview High School and was 3rd in the quad at the 2016 World Rowing Championships. That would be the U19. Aaron Fernandez moving out a little bit on Dylan. But even as he moves, he would have a very long way to catch up with Clark Dean as they get close to the 1,000 meter mark. Clark looking very good here out in front. Nice and relaxed. And when you row, you try to be relaxed. Not lazy relaxed, it's a working relaxed. But keeping the shoulders down, comfortable posture. But it's also easier to be relaxed when you're 3 or 4 boats open water on your nearest competitor. From the top of the finish tower, looking out into the setting sun, Clark Dean out in front.
We're heading back.
With about 350 meters to go, Clark Dean is doing a great job out in front. Can't tell how hard he's working, whether he's using this as a training piece or just trying to lay down a really hard race piece for time. Oh, there we can see the rating come up a little bit. And it looks like he is pushing it to the finish. And then he will be on his way to Trakai, Lithuania. Beautiful place. Rowing course with a castle in the middle of it. And it looks like Aaron Fernandez just beat out Dylan Dalpedre for second place. Next up will be the women's single. And we'll get to that when we have a good picture from the coaching launch, or from the camera launch. And we are underway with the women's single final 2. In lane 1 is Kathleen Dolan, and in lane 2, who we see here, is Claire Campbell. Claire is actually a very smooth rower. The transmission we're getting from the camera launch is what's a little herky-jerky. Claire won by a large margin this morning, and we'll see what she does this afternoon and see if Kathleen can come in and give her a good battle. But even from the finish tower in the glare, we can see that Miss Campbell is a ways ahead of Miss Dolan.
Really, it appears there was a collision between two pairs.
And there is Kathleen Dolan in second place. And she is a few boat lengths behind Claire Campbell. So they're getting close to the 500 meter to go mark. Claire Campbell out in front with 4 or 5 boat lengths of open water. With the setting sun, we see the nice silhouettes.
You can tell me when the next race is on.
With about 250 meters to go, Claire Campbell doing a nice job. Does not appear that she is pushing herself too hard. She's just maintaining her advantage through the finish line. But rowing very smoothly, very nicely. There's a nice little interview with Claire at the on the USRowing YouTube page, on the front page, after she won the youth national championships. And she is off on her way to Trakai, Lithuania. Oh, Kathleen has stopped for a moment. And is across the line. I hope she's okay. Next race up will be the men's pair. And it appears that race has already started. We'll get you pictures when the camera launch gets back up into position. Men's pair underway. Lane 1, closest to the camera, is Tubb and Stroud. And in lane 2, further away from the camera, is Stoddard and Hickey. This morning, Stoddard and Hickey won by a little less than 3 seconds. But here they are getting around the 750, getting close to 1,000, and they are 3/4 of a boat length down. Getting close to 1,000, and we will lose the picture for a little bit around the 1,000, and then it will come back. OKC Riversport, Mitchell Stroud and Cameron Tubb. OKC is Oklahoma City, rowing out of that fantastic facility in Oklahoma. Well, the difference a few strokes makes. And now the PNRA, Princeton National Rowing Association Mercer boat, at the 1,000-meter mark. I'm so sorry we missed it, but we have a dead spot for video right there. They just moved through this OKC boat. In a matter of a couple hundred meters, they went from being about 3/4 of a boat length down to now 1/2 to 3/4 of a boat length up. And they just continue to move away. Boat length and now open water. Wow. That's pretty amazing. Well, good for them. That's Andrew Hickey and Daniel Stoddard from PNRA Mercer. And now they are just cutting loose. Now they have about a 1/2 a boat of open water as they get close to the 500-meter mark. From the top of the finish tower, it's now PNRA Mercer that is closest to us, and they are leading by open water. Hard to tell with all the glare. It does make for a pretty artistic picture, but it makes it difficult to tell what's going on. This is PNRA Mercer's home course. They know it very well. And they're probably using that to their advantage as much as they can. It was a battle to the 1,000. But then PNRA Mercer, Mr. Hickey and Mr. Stoddard just put the hammer down. Looking very nice. They are just a couple strokes from the finish. All right, congratulations to Andrew Hickey and Daniel Stoddard, winning in front of a hometown crowd. Next up will be the men's double final. The men's double final is up next, and we'll get you pictures as soon as the camera launch gets up as far as it can get without waking the racing crews. Okay, here is an update for all of you who are waiting for the men's double to go. That race has been scheduled for 7:40. 7:40. So up next is the women's double at 7:17. At 7:17, the women's double will go. The men's double at 7:40. So we will we'll keep streaming, and we will bring you both of those races. The women's double started just a little bit early. They are underway. They're at about the 500-meter mark. In lane 1, which is closest to the camera, lane 1 is Carolyn McGee and Kayla Thomas. Lane 2 is Sarah Brunsberg and Jenna Hardman. And lane 3 is Abby Fainoff and Haley Mead. This morning, the winner was the lane 2 boat. There you can see their bow. Hardman and Brunsberg. And they had a comfortable margin of victory this morning. But it looks like these other 2 boats, Miss Thomas and Miss McGee and Miss Fainoff and Mead, are trying to take it to them early. See if they can rattle them possibly. And on the far side, that is lane 3 of Mead and Fainoff, and they are doing a great job out there. You can see that number 2 bow starting to move up a little bit at 750 meters. They are now in second place and chasing down now Mead and Fainoff. And we will see what happens. It looks like they are gaining ground as they get close to the 1,000-meter mark. We will lose the picture right around the 1,000-meter mark and then pick it up shortly thereafter. But as you can see, with every stroke, Hardman and Brunsberg are getting a little bit closer. So I don't know if the other 2 boats started out fast or Hardman and Brunsberg's had a slower start, but they are charging back. So we have a little bit of a dead spot with the camera launch right around the 1,000-meter mark. But the boat in the middle is the boat to beat. They won this morning. And even though the picture's a little stop and go from the camera launch, it'll steady out here in a moment. But we can see that Hardman and Brunsberg are coming back and chasing down Mead and Fainoff. Third 500, the 500 of truth. This is when the pain starts to settle in. And you start wondering where the finish line is. But look at this middle double. Lane 2, Hardman and Brunsberg are doing a great job here. That's the 1250 marker they've just gone past. All right, sorry, that was, the 1250 marker. And they are just about to, no, they have taken control of the race. Moving very nicely. The wind's actually dropping now. The water's flattening out a little bit. Never bad conditions. It was always rowable. But just a little bit choppier than this morning. Not much, but just a little bit. .500 meters to go. 1,500 down. And our leaders continue to pull away even a little bit more. There's a nice close-up of them. And now they are about a boat of open water over Meade and Faneuf. With about 350 meters to go. Looking good, looking strong, taking the rating up a little bit as they get close to the finish line. And they're going to push it home. They now have 2-3 boats of open water. And they're just going to take advantage of it and go. Sarah Brunsberg and Jenna Hardman just punched their ticket to Trakai, Lithuania for the U19 World Championships. Second place, Abby Faneuf and Haley Meade, and in third, Kayla Thomas and Carolyn McGee. Now we have a almost 15-minute, a little more than 15-minute stretch before the start of the men's double. Apparently, there was an equipment issue, and that race will start. It's scheduled to start at 7:40. If everybody's up there, they may start it a little bit earlier. So we'll keep the broadcast going and join the men's double as soon as they're up and going. And we are underway with the men's double after an equipment mishap earlier. Not sure what happened, but it doesn't really matter because we are underway now. So closest to us in lane 1 is Nicholas Salazar and Jeffrey Slayer. Lane 2 in the middle, and the winner from this morning is Thomas Satterwhite and Gregory Kane. And on the far side in lane 3 is Noah Sullivan and Nick Angilio. Right now it is between the boat from GMS Rowing, the blue boat, and the US Rowing boat, Thomas Satterwhite and Gregory Kane. This morning, the Kane Satterwhite boat won by less than a second. So we should expect a battle all the way down here, and I think that's what we're getting. The GMS boat is falling a little bit behind, because that's a little more than a second advantage that Satterwhite and Kane have at this point. It's just about a boat length, which would be just around a second, a little over a second maybe. See the marker, they're 750 meters in. Satterwhite and Kane really trying to break this open a little bit. That's Noah Sullivan and Nick Angilio. They are in third place. You appear to be open water behind. So we get close to 1,000. We're going to lose the picture for a little bit. Come out on the other side of the 1,000. We'll see what has happened. And even from the freeze frame pictures, we can see that Satterwhite and Kane have opened it up a little bit more. Now I'm sure they're rowing very smoothly. The image is not very smooth. That's not the rowers, that's a transmission from the launch. Starting to smooth out a little bit here. The transmission is. These guys have been smooth all the way through. As they open up their lead a little bit more, it was less than a second this morning, but it's going to be more this afternoon as they have put GMS behind them. This point you want to say, oh, they're just cruising. It's like, no, they are working their brains out. They are working really, really hard. They just make it look easy. Getting close to the 500 meter mark, and I think they are blowing this race open. At 1,500 meters down, 500 to go, they are a boat plus open water. About 400 meters to go. Maybe less. Thomas Satterthwaite and Gregory Kane are knocking it out, doing a great job. They are now into the red buoys, which signifies 250 meters to go. This is the last race for the U19 trials. Thank you all for watching.
Nice working with you, Willie. I'll see you later.
It's a beautiful evening here at Mercer. Thank you to all the volunteers, everybody who helped put on this regatta. As Satterthwaite and Kane on their way to Trakai, Lithuania for the U19 World Championships. And Salazar and Schleyer across the line. In third place, Sullivan and Angilio coming to the line shortly. And that is it. Once the referee signals a fair race, we are done for the evening. Again, thank you all for watching. Good night.